Hey, this is Dave, and I'm with my brother Rich. We're at the lake house. Today, as you can see, we got a floor going in. The one problem with the floor going in is that it needs to go under the toilet, so the toilet's got to come out. Today, we're going to show you how to remove a toilet and then reinstall a toilet. It's a pretty common homeowner issue that's easy to do, and now we don't have to pay a plumber. Oh, by the way, help us out as a channel if you would. Hit the subscribe button, like us, comment. Just let us know you're out there, and it really helps us as a channel. So let's get started today with taking that toilet out. The first thing you do is you got to get the water out. We've down in this corner here, we've already turned this valve off. Oh, I thought I did. There, you turn that valve off, and so that stops the water flow from going into the toilet. Now the bowl is full, so we're going to flush it. Or the tank is full, and you'll notice now that it's not full. It's not filling up. We turned the valve clockwise, and that way it closed it off. We still now have water in the tank, and there's still water in the bowl. And that's all we can do with that. So now what we're going to do is the painful part, especially if your toilet's older, is to get all the water out of this tank, because we're going to take the bolts off of it, and then water will leak on the floor if all that water is not gone. On older tanks, on the backs of your toilets, they look all gross and corroded. It's just standing water. It's just tap water that's gone into the bowl and sat there for years and years and years. It's not really dirty. It's no dirtier than the water you drink. The dirty water's in the toilet bowl, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But for right now, we're just going to get some rags, soak up this water, and then we'll go to the next step. All right, we're just doing the slow work here we got a Gatorade bottle, we're just scooping it out. Scooping out the water as much as I can, and then the last remainder will end up be done by the rag. If I had a sponge would be ideal, but I don't have one right now, so I'm making do. Okay, that's good. Okay, the tanks are attached to the base generally by 2 or 3 bolts. I've already loosened this. All you really need is an adjustable wrench and to loosen them, and then you can take them off with your hand. You'll have a nut and a washer. This tank is a little newer, and so it's got they're built in. Okay, after we turn the water off, there you can follow this hose up, and it goes to the water supply inlet. This is only on hand tight, so you just undo it, and this will keep this is the only thing that's attached to the bowl or to the tank after you remove the bolts. So once this is undone, and there's a little water in there, might make a little mess, then it's time to make sure both these nuts off. Sometimes there's 2 nuts in washers, and sometimes there's 3, but once those are off, you can simply take the bowl off, and there's nothing to it. You're halfway home. All right, now comes the fun part, and the fun part is getting rid of the toilet. And so same thing is an adjustable wrench. There's 2 nuts right down here. And this is just for future reference, when you put these on, make sure you do not tighten them down too much. If you tighten them down too much, you'll crack the porcelain and you're done. You're buying a new toilet. And they always warn you about that. So yeah, this is all there is to taking the toilet out. Just these 2 nuts on the bottom, and then you've got to think about how these toilets work. And it's all gravity fed. The water in the tank runs into the bowl when you flush the handle, when you pull the handle down. And so you follow this. The water comes in the tank here and then runs down through this portion right here into the bowl, and then it goes down and out, and all the residual water comes out up through here and then down. So now you've got water in this thing in the bowl, and it's probably up to about right here. And so unless you want to get your hand inside the toilet bowl and take that water out or scoop it out, I'll just show you what it would do as a little trick just to keep it from splashing everywhere. Is we're going to take this bowl and just barely tilt the front end up and let some of this water drain out and then down into the drain line. And then when you're moving this around, it's not going to slosh over this edge and splash onto your floor. So we're just going to lift this up here just ever so gently and try to get some of that water. Yeah, you can hear it's going. And you'll see on the bottom of the toilet there's a V-shaped funnel. Your wax ring and this connect, and there's a V-shaped funnel that goes into the hole. And so some of that water's out there now. So we're going to take this toilet now and move it. The reason plumbers get paid good money is they know what they're doing, but they also have to deal with crap all day long, and that's no fun. So if you just keep this reasonably level, you don't have to worry about spillage. Level or keep it tilted to the front. All right, so there you go. That's what's the remainder. Now in this brown thing is called a wax seal, and it's literally wax, and it sits on top of a rubber flange that sits over the drain pipe. So you got wax ring, rubber flange, and then that white down there is your drain pipe. And that's where all the stuff goes when you flush it. These are your bolts, and that's just stuck in the wax. And this round white part or semi-white part is your flange. Now we're gonna put a floor in here that's gonna raise this up even higher. So they make regular wax rings and jumbo wax rings. The jumbos are taller so that they actually touch the bottom of your toilet, and you get a good transfer of liquid from the bowl into the pipe without any spillage. So whenever you're adding layers here, you can either adjust the flange level or by buying other flanges to mount on here, or you can get a jumbo ring to raise this up. And we're actually going to use a new tool we'll show you in a little bit and see if that works even better. So the next part is to scrape all that wax off. We're going to get rid of that. It's rather gross, but has to be done. And then we'll prepare it for the remounting after we get the floor in. Okay, we're reusing this toilet, so we're going to clean the bottom of it, the flange area. You see how we got it tilted towards my brother so that it doesn't splash everywhere out the bottom. Keep going. All right, put it off to the side. Okay.
You want to go all the way with it, or is it?
Yeah. We want.
Oh.
We can just lay it on the ground. And nice. Let's get some cardboard.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. All right, so here's the other business end of the toilet, and that's got a little bit of gunk from the wax ring. And you can see even on this, we can show you on the wax ring, there's hardly any debris there. Usually that means the wax ring wasn't quite touching here, and so we have a height issue. That wax ring is usually deformed, and I'll show you inside. It's not so deformed. Here you can see we've removed the toilet, and you can see a little impression here all the way around here, but that's how the wax ring looks normally, and there's no depression there, so we know the toilet wasn't actually touching there. So because they actually had the original flange, added tile work, and that has raised the toilet up so far that this ring isn't tall enough, and that's why you get jumbo rings that are fatter. But we're not even going to use that. We're going to use a different device, and it's a rubber seal, and we'll show you that in just a second. Okay, this is the most thankless part of the job. This wax seal is pretty much intact, and one of the things about a wax seal, if you have different layers of floor, is you can never be 100% sure if you've got this height difference that your wax seal connected, like this one didn't connect from here to there. But anyway, that's how the wax seal looks, pretty much new. Some toilets, if there's a tight fit, it'll completely be squished on there, and it'll be very gross in trying to get it off. This one, amazingly, is coming off perfectly, and that's because it's only 6 months old. We put it in when we first got the house. See, what you have right here now is this is your toilet flange, and you want this to be all semi-cleaned off. And yeah, wearing gloves is probably a really good idea, but do as I say, not as I do. And then we're going to wipe this down with the cloth, and then I'm going to measure this pipe. We've got a couple different options. You can go ahead and basically, when you get the wax ring, it comes in a box with a plastic cover over it, and you peel off the plastic cover, set the wax ring on there, put the toilet on, and you're done. The toilet's weight squishes the wax ring and makes a complete seal, so that your toilet just drains in that pipe with no water going anywhere else. We're going to try something different. Not a wax ring, but basically a complete rubber gasket seal that we saw in the store, and we thought we'd give it a try because it seems like it's a little bit better technology. Toilet's all nice and clean now, and you'll see in a second the inside is all good. We cleaned this whole area around here. Rich did with isopropyl rubbing alcohol to get it a really clean surface so that this mates up well. This is what we're using, wax-free toilet seal. It's something that basically you just put it on the end of the toilet into the drain pipe in the flange, and you're good to go. And it's better than a wax seal, supposedly. And this is the first time we've tried it. They make it for different sizes. There's a 3.5, there's a 4, this one's a 3. We're using a 3-inch. But yeah, it seems like this is the way to go. The wax seals are single use, no repositioning, no turning it around as far as the toilet goes. So this hopefully gives us a better seal and a little more forgiveness. So you peel this off, and it's got a silicone seal to it right there. And we're just gonna stick it on. And it's on nice and tight. Squeeze that glue in there. But that's a pretty cool little tool.
I actually think it's in the front room because I used to see it. I think it's on the toilet box.
Okay, a little more over, Yeah, there you go. Okay.
So we put it right on there?
Yeah, right on the ground. Yeah. Okay. All right, these are our old, what do they call these things? Mounting bolts. And they were already in here. We took these out, and you can see they're oblong, and they go in these grooves right here. You can stick it in this way. You spin it 90 degrees, and then run it over here into the corner. And you want them across from each other, 180 degrees. And we had to get longer ones because we've gone up from our flange an inch, and these short bolts just wouldn't reach. So now we got long bolts, and we are ready to put the toilet in, and we'll have plenty of room. Okay, so we're going to put some of this soapy water on the flange so that it's all lubricated and ready to go in. Now you can see I had a plastic bag in the drain because the sewer gases can be a little bit obnoxious. So we're gonna go ahead and put that toilet on those 2 bolts, and they're gonna go through this hole on this side of the toilet and one on the other. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. And then here, let's make sure there's good. Okay.
Can you move that supply?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. There you go. You got it.
Can't see where the bolts are.
A little bit back, a little more. Okay. Okay, now towards me, and towards you now. Towards you now. Okay, right there. Wait. Okay, right there. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Can
got
you see the other one?
No. Okay.
Oh, I heard it squeak in there.
Cool.
I'd say we're in. And the beauty of this one is that it allows you to reposition it if it's not 100% right. But I can feel it in the hole. That's awesome.
With the wax ring, you can't keep readjusting it because it'll break the seal. So that's another advantage of this installation.
These actually are V-shaped. And then got a pair of them. The whole goal here is just to make them tight, but not too tight. Not tight enough to where you'll crack this porcelain. So you're just looking for a, yeah, see how just a, where, so it won't turn on you like it just did. And so we'll go down a little bit more. It's all about just being gentle. Okay, so installing the tank onto the base, we tightened it down, got it all nice and tight. Clean up our mess here. Got it all nice and tight. Now we've got this foam ring that sits in this hole right here, and then that's going to receive that right there. So as a matter of fact, I'm just going to snap it on right here. That'll be the way it's supposed to be. There we go. Okay, so the foam is on. It's just going to rest right there. These two bolts, we'll go through these holes, and we'll tighten those up. Hopefully with bolts, nuts I didn't already, and those washers that I already used. So we're going to put these on and feed them right through. Boom. So it just sits right there. Perfect. And then all we gotta do is put this washer and a nut on here. And the goal is to get them finger tight first, and then it'll start pulling. And if you only tighten one side, it'll tighten that way. And so you want to make sure that you do 3 or 4 turns here and then 3 or 4 turns here to make sure it's level. And we'll put a level on this just to make sure it's sitting on their level. And again, not too tight, just kind of firm. Because you can break one of these, this or that. It's just porcelain, and then we're done. We're gonna connect the supply line, and we'll be good. Okay, we got the level on, and it's nice and level. Pretty good shape. The toilet's in good shape, so we are very excited. We're close now. All we gotta do is connect the supply line. It used to be copper, and we redid the plumbing and made it PEX. And so now we just gotta, I'll have to do this blind here. I want to get this up on, there should be, right there. And this is, all this is finger tight. And the way this tank is designed, it's a Kohler, and these mounting bolts are mounted underneath the tank, but they don't go through the tank. So the only possibility of leaking is from this connection right here. And that's pretty tight. So now we'll go turn the water on and give this a test. Just feel for leaks. Everything feels good right now. Tank is filled. We're gonna, well, I guess we wait. We'll give this a trial flush. Very good. And that is a successful change of your toilet. Not too complicated if you just follow the right steps. Hope this helps. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up or a like. Please subscribe. We'll see you next time.